Good morning on day 125 on the Pacific Crest Trail. And it was really nice to have a quiet tent site after the 3 nights in Cascade Locks for trail days, which was really fun with hundreds of campers around you, but definitely not quiet. And I woke up to a nice cooler temperatures. It was pretty warm downtown where we were, but a little cool this morning, which feels great, but very gray and damp and very, very different from coming out of the Sierras, of course. So I kind of putzed along. I didn't realize it was so late in the morning, but I did have some videos to delete from my phone to make room for new ones. Heading to Trout Lake next, which is 69 miles out, and I have a resupply box there. So we'll see how many miles we can get in. Left a little bit after 7:30 this morning, but I don't think the elevation's too crazy today, so see if we can get some miles in. See you down trail. So I've been walking through this very, very quiet forest, and I start hearing these thuds. It made me jump. If you know me, I'm pretty jumpy. But they sounded heavy. And then I heard another one, and this is what I was seeing or hearing. These pine cones, it looks like they're not quite mature, but that's what dropped and rolled down the hill next to me. And here's a cross section of one that was broken open, but they're pretty heavy, so I'm on the alert. Not that you can avoid them. So that couple that just hiked past me said the trail hasn't been too crowded, which we were all kind of concerned with everyone coming out of Cascade Locks from trail days. But they camped about a mile before me, and they said there were only 2 other tents there as well. So that's good, but it's nice to see folks on trail. I was hoping to see Cookie and Star and their current tramily, but they actually aren't leaving town until today. But I'm sure they'll catch up with me eventually. And Skillet was going to head south and to where he got off and then hike back up towards Cascade Locks before he gets up to Washington. But anyway, beautiful day, pleasant temperature, nice and cool. Not sure if we'll see the sun today. See you down. So our grandchildren are very outdoorsy. They do something called 1,000 hours outdoors, which is a goal, an annual goal, but they usually end up reaching it like halfway through the year every year. But that slug back there reminded me of them. Our granddaughter actually had a very special guest come to her 7th birthday party, and it was a slug. So Roz, that slug's for you. Miss you guys. See you down trail. Oh, in case you were wondering, the slug's name was Pickles. It's almost 1 o'clock, and I just filled up at the last water source, a stream, and the next water source isn't until 7.7 miles, but it is also the camping area I was looking at, Trout Creek. But I did just read the comments, and it said that there is car camping there also. So it can be loud. So I'm going to end up getting there a little later in the day. It is a weekday, so I'll check it out. But I think the next camping beyond that isn't for a few miles. So we'll check it out, and I'll see you down trail. I just had kind of a long lunch break with a beautiful view, and talked to a Sobo who's doing a section hike, actually through hiked in 2017, and we traded trail magic stories. So that was kind of fun. Back on trail, less than 5 miles to Trout Creek, where the next water source is and where that campground is that I'm going to see. Hopefully not too many people there since it is a car campground. See you down trail. Okay, wrapping up day 125. And it was really a pretty nice day on trail. Instead of finishing with a giant ascent, I actually had a pretty long descent at the end of the day, which is really nice. And I am camped by Trout Creek. There is a car campground nearby, but I found this backpacking tent site right by the creek before you go over the bridge and get to the car campground, which had some comments that it had been pretty noisy. So I'm glad to have this little spot right by the creek, lots of white noise to sleep by, which is always nice. It was another green day in Washington. The thing that's different about these climbs, and they're not very high, tomorrow we're going to go back up to 4,000 feet. And right now we descended to 1,200 feet. So pretty low. The mountains aren't high, but the climbs just seem to go on and on and on. Like in the Sierras, you'll see the sun through the trees and you'll say, oh, it's only a few more switchbacks and I'll be at the top. But here it's really deceiving because you might only be in the middle and you can see the trees, but they're pretty gradual climbs, but they're long and not the big, stellar views of the Sierras, but just the lush green forest is your view, and I really enjoyed that just as much as a good mountain view. So tomorrow, more elevation gain, a bigger climb, but only up to 4,000 feet. So see how many miles we can get in. We're 3 and a Nero days away from Trout Lake, the next town where I have a resupply. And so I met a lot of hikers today. Most of them passed me, or we were playing leapfrog. And it's nice to have that little bit of traffic coming out of Cascade Locks because you have some more company on trail. And there are about 3 or 4 tents in this camping area that I'm at tonight. So hopefully a little earlier start tomorrow and we'll get some miles in. And I have a signal here too at this campsite, which was nice. So I was able to call Brian, and he and his brother are enjoying Seattle and in a nice cushy hotel. I told him not to get too soft on me because he's coming back out on trail. But anyway, that was nice. And looks like clear night tonight. And that about wraps it up. See you down trail.